Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark are champions! Good on Pepe! Goal!
It doesn't get any better than that.
Hello and welcome to Game in Frame. We are starting live from the LIU Athletic Campus here in Brooklyn for this match between Brooklyn United and JA Elite here in the US Youth Soccer National League North Atlantic Conference First Division. For the curly-haired individuals, it is a day not too shy at. Lots of wind, lots of humidity going on, but it makes for a beautiful Saturday afternoon football match. We're going to take a look at the tables for this US Youth Soccer National League North Atlantic Conference Division 1, which shows Stony Brook's Blue Squad holding in first place, New York Hota Bavarians on 9 points in second, BKU makes up the final spot on the podium, followed behind by Stony Brook White, Northport Cow Harbor, Brentwood Soccer Club, LISC, and making up the last spot on the table is BKU's opposition in JA Elite. BKU with a win today could at least leapfrog New York Hota Bavarians, who do not have a game today, potentially even Stony Brook if things go BKU's way as they take on Brentwood. Next week, a big match for BKU's title hopes as Stony Brook Blue and the Hota Bavarians on May 10th, but we are going to take it back to the field where we are moments away from kickoff. Just finished up another game here at the beautiful LIU campus, so definitely make sure to stick around. We're going to be live for kickoff in just a few moments following check-ins, captains meetings, final decision makings from the coaches. We've got the action, no need for lights quite yet, and we'll come right back. And welcome back. Thank you for continuing to tune in here on Game and Frame. We are live from the LIU Athletic Facility on the Brooklyn campus following this match between BKU's 2008 national squad and JA Elite here as part of the US Youth Soccer National League North Atlantic Conference First Division. Brooklyn United in the white, attacking from the right to the left. Already getting started with a very high press against 8th place JA Elite. Schierder taking over possession, and now Castellanos on the ball can look to start the build out for this Brooklyn United. Jacob Suniga talking with Coach Kempe earlier before kickoff. There are a few injuries, a few missing personnel. You'll see over on the bench, if you can see that far, if you'll avert your attention. A few players outside of the field. They're in the gray jerseys of the practice jerseys or the black home jerseys. That'll show you the injured reserve list for BKU here this afternoon. Regardless, a strong team to start the match. Suniga starts. He is on a back line with Castellanos, Otis O'Brien, Gabe Schierder. In the middle, a trio of Fazi Nematov, Dagan Waring, Orson Doggart. And up top, you have Asher Rushevsky on the far side. Quentin Smith on this near side, Bruno Spampinato leading the line for BKU, and of course the incomparable Aiden Duff in net. Dagan Waring almost coming away with the ball here. Quentin Smith now starting a high press. JA Elite working out well from the trap. Nematov coming across. Ball into the middle, smothered immediately by Doggart. Now a bit of distribution into the wide area, and you will have seen that ball caught a little bit of air and took a slow down on its way. Folks, the wind is absolutely brutal here this afternoon. It is whipping in ways that you would not believe. It is all headed in the direction of the far side of the field. So any ball into the air is going to have to be so finely calculated to deal with this almost secondary opposition. Castellanos on the ball now, getting away from pressure well. Suniga cutting away, makes his defender touch earth. Castellanos now. Doggart dropping into a more receded area. This is not something I have personally seen from this BKU team, employing the 6 to drop in between the center backs. Perhaps a new look at the tactical profile for this squad. Waring losing out on possession, but only just. JA Elite now, working the ball around well. Big sweeping cross is going to be met at the back stick. Will be splayed out across the keeper's net. Never going to trouble him though. And Aiden Duff comes away unscathed and distributes. Suniga. Doggart again receiving in between the center backs. Rushevsky saves it. Schierder flicks one over the top. Spampinato could be in behind already. Spampinato, what a tremendous save from the goalkeeper. Came out to make himself big. Can the high press from BKU recover possession? Or does JA Elite have a way out from their own defensive third? Looks like they'll have a bit of space and time here. That's very interesting. Otis O'Brien also, Castellanos puts the ball back through the middle. Come back to that in a second. Here's Doggart. Tries the trickery. But much like a poor imitation of David Blaine, he gets found out. Schierder tries it. Catches the foul. So that was very interesting. As JA Elite was starting their build out, you had a back three of Castellanos, Schierder, and Suniga, who were all pinched together, and O'Brien actually stepped up and joined the center of the park. So definitely new shades of a familiar color here, but not a BKU 2008 national squad that I have seen before, and so far I like the profile. Spampinato, proper hold-up play. Waring. Oh, beautiful. Slips Smith in behind. Smith now can go to work. The tricky winger cutting inside. Leaves it. Spampinato has some work to do to work a shot. Tries one. It's deflected. Nemitov trying to recover possession. Can't quite, so Rushevsky gets there. Rushevsky turning the corner. Now Rushevsky ball into the box for Spampinato! Lays it right down Broadway. And that was an absolute perler of a move from Rushevsky. Finished off with the most strikerist of touches from the number 99, Bruno Spampinato. And that is an early one for your home BKU. Well, if you liked that goal, then you're going to want to stick around at halftime to see our candidates for goal of the month for the month of April. We're going to show you those goals at halftime, and then you can use the rest of the break to head over to our Instagram at GameInFrame. Woohoo! That wind is something fierce. Head over to our Instagram at GameInFrame, find the post with those goal of the month candidates, and vote for who you think deserves to be the goal of the month for the month of April. Winner receives a Salt Athletic air case. More on that later. That's a crunching tackle, but clean as a whistle. Waring is away. Plays Nemitov in beautifully. Nemitov still waiting for some sort of reinforcement. Does he just try one himself? Cuts it on to his left. Yes, he does! Deflected. And that'll go for a corner. BKU definitely have, my goodness, this is, the wind is pushing me off my elevated little stand here. BKU do have in Spampinato, Rushevsky, Otis O'Brien, they do have some aerial ability. So we'll see how Doggett decides to distribute this ball from the dead ball. Both hands to the sky. Well, that one's going to go all the way. Yep, there's the effect of the wind, really. Wherever Doggett wanted to place that, I'm sure it got another like 10 yards on its trajectory. Beautifully high pressed by BKU. Nemitov comes up empty. So too does Doggett. Quentin Smith assisting in the press now. Outlet found for JA Elite. Suniga in the middle of that pass. Castellanos and Otis O'Brien. Captains the side today. Still O'Brien. Duff is the option. Woo, cuts it right past the on-rushing striker. Suniga with a touch. Suniga for Spampinato. Holds up well, does the striker. Maybe a little too hesitant to make that move. JA Elite now. Coming into the closing stages of the season, BKU have had a good run of form so far. A win against Cow Harbor to open up the season, a draw against first place Stony Brook Blue, a 4-0 win against second place Hota Bavarians. That's going to be important as we come down to crunch time, and a 3-3 draw against Brentwood. They will finish up the season against Long Island Soccer Club, and then finally Stony Brook White. JA Elite still searching for their first points on the season as Castellanos just loses focus for half a second, and that's all it takes. Now a throw in deep in enemy territory for JA Elite. In terms of crunch time and coming down to it, how do BKU find themselves atop the standings? Well, a win today would leapfrog them above New York Hota Bavarians on 9 points, who do not have a match this weekend. Their next match, they are the second place team, is against first place Stony Brook Blue. So, if Stony Brook Blue, of course, drop points against Brentwood, as we come back to the standings talk in just a second, here's Fazi Nematov, alone against the number 10, who does excellently. However, Jacob Suniga, immediate reinforcements. Oh, that is absolutely pyrotechnic football. Quentin Smith to finish off the attack. Instead, it'll be Orson Doggart, who is offside. That was firework football. BKU finding triangles that Pythagoras could only dream of. And an absolutely beautiful move forward. Well, folks, the wind has, sorry for that break in the commentary, the wind blew the microphone straight off my chest, so I was, believe me, trust me, I was spitting some beautiful prose, waxing lyrical, commentary you've never heard before. You wouldn't believe it. Eat your heart out, Peter Drury. Woohoo! Anyway, back to my regular commentary. Here's Aiden Duff on the ball. Quick distribution out for Shearder. Shearder tees one up, drives it, tries to find the feet of Dagan Waring. It's not on this time. Doggart casually, beautifully. Nematov turns, finds Shearder. Cuts it back, and once again it's Nematov. A little bit of hitch and delay to recover the ball. Spompanato. Reshevsky's going to keep the press going. Spompanato now. Panic stations for the JA Elite goalkeeper to clear it out, but it is effective, and it's all the way for Aiden Duff to gather. So as I was saying, Stony Brook, failure to get all 3 points, depending on goal differential, and head-to-head is a draw, so depend on goal differential. BKU after this weekend could find themselves in first, but it's next week that really makes the difference. BKU is going to take on Long Island Soccer Club, but it's Stony Brook versus Hota Bavarians in a weekend that could truly decide the title here in the US Youth National League, or US Youth Soccer National League, North Atlantic Conference, First Division. Here is JA Elite once again starting the build out. BKU electing to let the ball come to them, and it's Otis O'Brien out of the air. Once again, it's just calm and measured from BKU defensively. Where is the line of confrontation, do we think? Forced back. So now it's a true 4 across the back, 4, and there goes Otis O'Brien stepping up, very nearly missing out on that aerial ball. Either way, it's Aiden Duff. Woohoo! Fancy from the goalkeeper. Well, that's the modern goalkeeper, isn't it? Everyone's a 6 nowadays. Look at Otis O'Brien's positioning here. He's even, or even higher, with Orson Doggart, who is the actual 6. at least in the defensive positioning. Really great recovery there from Doggart. Oh, that is a picture-perfect pass. Frame it in the Louvre, and just deflected as the shot was coming in from Quinton Smith. A pass measured with a carpenter's ruler. Oh, Suniga. That's clever. Smith turning, twisting, dancing. Fred Astaire on the ball, lays for Suniga. For Quinton Smith again, who's remained onside, trying to cut past one, catches a leg, and it's a clean challenge and a good clearance from JA Elite. Schroeder, did he handle it? No. Nematov. Schroeder tries one from distance. It's audacious. Audacious though it was, did force a full extension from the JA Elite goalkeeper. Seemed to have the side covered. But Schroeder testing his luck from distance. It's a few opportunities from BKU that have, you could call it gone wanting, but really, it's just right there. Is another good ball over the top from Orson Doggart, this time for Rushevsky. Goalkeeper out quicker though to snuff out the attack. Good cutting ball to break the lines. Doggart, a great recovery once again. Doggart so far thriving in this role as the 6. Call it the center defensive midfielder. A little bit of a miscommunication there between Waring and Suniga. Suniga with the recovery though, or at least to intercept, to lay it for Orson Doggart. Waring for Smith, immediately encountered. Smith again, Waring. Flips it out the other way. Rushevsky can go to work in a 1v1. He's cutting inside. Now out, now in. Heel making absolute paper snowflakes out of the defenders, cutting them up. The shot eventually coming from Fazi Nimatov is tame in the end. Safe handling from the goalkeeper. Schroeder for Duff. Castellanos. It's beautiful one-touch football from BKU here. What a beautiful ball. Nematov on his left. Can he cut it? He's trailing further and further away from goal. Has to recover. Does so. Whoa. That's got to be tough on the ankles. Overcommitment from Doggart. Here come JA Elite to a recovering BKU side. Otis O'Brien, though, does so well to get in the way. Schroeder now on the ball. Schroeder trailing. Woo! Has to slide. That's going to be a foul. Well, that'll give us a moment of respite to breathe from the action. Back and forth momentum goes and swings. It's another one from Schroeder. Starting fullback for BKU. Definitely on the referee's watch list now. Following back-to-back. Tenacious efforts on the ball, we'll call it. Here's the distribution, high and hanging. Easily enough for Aiden Duff. Paxton Baudenbacher warming up on the side. So too is Pax Gamboa Arsate. Shearder dazzles and returns for Otis O'Brien all the way back for Duff. Castellanos. Great find into the middle for Spampanato, who made space. It's just a bit behind Nemitov, and it's just a bit behind Shearder. They maintain the momentum. Shearder, Nemitov, Fozzie. Oh, rips it across the face of net. Did catch a deflection on its way in for a BKU corner. So it'll be Doggart to deliver again. We'll see if he learned anything from the first attempt. Meteorologically, is that the word? Weather is what I meant. It's not all gold, folks. But so far it has been from BKU, and here's another opportunity. Nemitov at the back post cleans it up. Lays it for Waring, felt the pressure. What can he look to create? Maybe he'll dazzle by himself, and does so, Dagan Waring. Finds only the pipes, and out for a goal kick. Really like the defensive shape here from BKU, especially how Otis O'Brien is being deployed. And look, now as they come a little bit more forward, he rejoins the back four. I know you can't see that on your screens quite yet as we track the ball. That pass, little bit overcooked. So a BKU throw. Ruszewski for O'Brien. Space on this near side. Woo! Dazzling from Doggart. Oh, poked it free for a winger, but it looked like Spampanato and Smith were crossing over and then crossing back. I see. Yeah, it looks like they were crossing over and then crossed back, so neither of them made the play on the ball. But folks, that will take us to a hydration break. So likely these players are going to go over, get some water, some electrolytes, maybe some water with some Himalayan salt. That really works well. If you need a little more salt in your life, then boy, do we have a special offer for you. That's our sponsor. It's going to be Salt Athletic, who have created the world's freshest cleat bag, freshest and most advanced, cleat bag to save you and your loved ones from the after-match foot odor that your cleats produce. It's called the Air Case. It uses antimicrobial technology. It is absolutely amazing, folks. I personally bought one for my baby brother, who is a collegiate soccer player. Bought it for Christmas. It has saved everyone's life in dealing with him, so can't attest to it enough. Special offer for the Game in Frame faithful, Game in Frame community and friends and family. There's a QR code right now at the bottom of your screen. Scan that and get yourself 10% off your order of the Air Case. You can keep it fresh with Salt Athletic, just like us. We're going to keep it rolling here to also let you know about what's coming up here on our very fresh programming here in Game in Frame. Tonight in the UPSL, we've got East Coast FC versus New York Empire FC. Tomorrow, fireworks start early, folks. It's Polonia versus New York International FC in the first division of the Cosmo League. I don't want to make any curse of the commentator predictions, but truly, this could decide the title. It's not one to miss at 10 a.m. live here on Game in Frame. We've got American Soccer Club New York versus Osners in the FC NPSL at 7 p.m. And finally, in our illustrious APSL, newly named, Richmond, who are red hot, take on your national amateur champions in the Pan Cyprian Freedoms. That's going to be your de facto main event of the evening. It's going to be at 8 p.m. You guys like the Bruce Buffer impression? It's not all gold, but when it is, it glitters. Here's the takeaway from Smith. Oh, warring, fancy footwork, just a little bit too much on it for Nemitov to take over. He'll get it himself, though, goes the hard way. Oh, Nemitov rolls over it again. Good control there by O'Brien. Invites the challenge and releases. It's beautiful. Suniga just runs out of breathing room there. Such fine margins here on this LIU field. The lines here are quite faint. Not sure. It's not the white line that you're probably seeing on your screen. It's actually a blue line about 3 yards to the outside of it. Doggart takes over. Releases for Nemitov. Just moving across the face of the field. Rushevsky moving back. Good find for Smith. Once again, twisting, turning. Like a grandfather clock, we go round the bend. Suniga holding just too high of a line. I saw the offside. Quick distribution over the head of Suniga, who has to recover his position. Castellanos helps out, if only momentarily, and rejoins the back line. Rushevsky, ghost in the machine. Now a moment of calm as BKU reset to invite the ball over the top. This time they go ball across the side, bringing Shearder up. No advantage to be played from that Suniga challenge. Much to Coach Kempe's disappointment there. Be patient, he says. That's the instruction from the far side. Played short. Kempe bringing the energy for the press. Castellanos wins the first one out of the air. O'Brien the second. Rushevsky just missing out on the third. He'll go for it again. Nemitov getting a touch. Oh, it's suffocating pressure.
Toro, 27.
There is a foul. A little too suffocating for the referee's liking. Dead ball to be distributed here from JA Elite. Driven into the safe hands of Aiden Duff once again. Goalkeeper goes over the top. Spampanato sees that almost immediately. Spampanato now alone against 3. Does have Dagan Waring with him. Goes for the spectacular, trailing away from goal with his body. Always going to be tricky technically. But it really was 1 against 3 there. Maybe had Waring. But it would have been a challenge either way. Orson once again. Doggart on the recovery. Ooh. Clever from Smith, just didn't come out for him. You know, that's another shift from the last time I've seen this BKU team play. Usually Doggart is playing more as like an 8 or a 10. And maybe it's been a while since I've noticed anything, but jumping in at the 6 here, just so effective. Not that he wasn't effective elsewhere. He's a tremendous center midfielder for this BKU team, but obviously each role within the center of the park has its own profile. Doggart just running the show on both ends of the ball. Really impressed so far from the number 7. Ball through the gap. Suniga's going to have that. Ooh, tries to give for Duff. Just a bit of a miscommunication there. I don't know if you saw it, if you caught it from your eye, but it was just like a little bit of a hand in the back. Not enough to draw the referee's eye, but enough to put the fullback off his balance. Intelligent there from JA Elite, you know. Stuff you'd see anywhere. Here is the ensuing corner for JA Elite. This one to swing likely inward. We'll see how the wind affects it. Otis O'Brien wins at the near post. Waring. Can't find Spampinato. Waring, though, on the recovery has done beautifully. Now Otis O'Brien will try and flip one over the top. It's going to fall for Schierter, who maintained his high positioning. Ruszewski now. Ruszewski, defender left alone on an island and makes his way off. Clearance goes out of bounds. With that dead ball, that will bring on Pax Gamboa Arsate to replace Jacob Suniga, who goes to the bench on a well-earned rest. And Castellanos. Castellanos, Waring, Gamboa Arsate, Smith. It's just poked free from Smith. Gamboa Arsate. Oh, it's a crunch of a tackle. You'd put it on a parfait. My gosh. Nemitov finds himself in good positioning. Ruszewski, Dagan Waring, never going to be muscled off the ball. Goes for a bit of trickery. That the defender is wise enough to. That ball trickling over the line for a BKU throw. Just too much on that touch from Doggart. Definitely an interesting contest in the air from all parties involved. Otis O'Brien going on a journey, brought to ground, and that'll be a foul. One that will favor the striking abilities of BKU. Will be Ruszewski to deal off the left foot. Though we will wait for the customary 10 steps. The line is set for Ruszewski to try one on the ground. A little bobble off the hands of the goalkeeper, but saw that one all the way. At the center of the park, now Paxton Bodenbacher to be introduced for the first time this match. Schierter with a really impressive takeaway. Spampinato, hold up play. It's just so classic. Deals for Schierter again, who's got in the way of the clearance. Oh, but JA Elite have forged their way past 3 or 4 of the press. And it's Doggart once again in prime positioning. Nemitov. Line breaking pass to Ruszewski, who's just offside. Will bring that attack to an end. Bodenbacher to replace Fazi Nemitov. First substitution for BKU. Dogger just easiest takeaway that he's ever going to have. Falls right into his lap. Oh, picture perfect. Spampinato for 2. Well, he's such a good 9. He's got 2 on his back, and now he's got 2 on the score sheet. But credit where credit is due to a ball that classic summer activity in the backyard, slip and slides through the back line off the foot of Orson Doggart. And the finish was absolute dessert on top. 2 for Spampinato, 2 for BKU. Here with 10 minutes to go in this first half of action. First half brace for the striker, and you have to feel there is more to come. They have been electric so far. O'Brien, Ruszewski. O'Brien continues. Love when a center back goes on a journey. Bodenbacher goes in through the legs. It's a good find into the middle, but the touch just wasn't there. Invited the challenge from Orson Doggart. Kembo Arzate, really good balance. Not to go to ground. Would have been a foul, but he's done well. Bodenbacher now weighing up his options. Doggart lets it go for Dagan Waring, who slips a ball across the lines for Schierter, who cuts and twists. Ruszewski says, I see your cuts and twists. I'll raise you one. What does Quentin Smith have in his locker? Cuts, twists. Ooh, this time equalized. And that is enough to bring the attack to a screeching halt, if only momentarily. Just over the head of Bodenbacher from the Pax Gimboa Arzate throw. Distribution, though, overcooked. Bodenbacher for Schierter. Castellanos. Spampinato lays it. He'll receive it again. Is this for 3? Oh, he went to go around the goalkeeper. Had him beat. He just forgot the ball. The ball from Waring, though, was a peach. Cleared effectively from O'Brien. Again, an effective clearance from O'Brien. Smith. Smith again. Waring cuts away. We play on, says our referee. Ball intended for Ruszewski is cut out there. You can see Schierter point Waring onward towards Ruszewski. O'Brien back for Duff. Great distribution from the goalkeeper for Bodenbacher, who's fouled on his turn. Castellanos. Doggart. Eventually runs out of breathing room. Referee blows the play dead. No advantage to be played there. We are into the final 5 minutes of our first half here from the LIU athletic facilities on this beautiful Saturday. For now, clear skies so far. Oh, it's a beautiful header. Oh, palmed away by Aiden Duff, his first real test of the match. And Spompanato with 4 for company. The striker has done so well, still doing well. Eventually, the 5th is the straw that breaks the camel's back. You almost favored him. Looked so confident on the ball there. Gambo Arsate cutting away. Still on the ball. Oh, tried it. Waring. Doggart takes a peek. And O'Brien. Shearder. Gruszewski making an inside-out run. Almost inside out his own ankles there. And who else but Orson Doggart with an incredible recovery. Gruszewski will get a break here. Replaced by Repin Minoff. Shearder nods it high. Minoff foots it on. Shearder now. Bodenbacher can't connect with Minoff. Doggart takes over. For Spompanato, tries to turn one for himself. No go there. But the striker is flying this afternoon. Oh, look at that. Ahead of the intended pass. Smith has to bring the ball under control. Can't do so. Wants a foul, stays low to the ground. Referee waves it on. Shearder tries to recover. Smith still confused as to how that couldn't have been a foul. Kempe says, keep going, keep going. Sage advice. Play the whistle, y'all. Castellanos winning the ball brilliantly out of the air. Now Minoff for Shearder. Shearder going to work. Eventually runs out of room there. And a goal kick for J.A. Elite. Sprayed wide for J.A. Shearder ahead of it. Ooh! Smartest dummy I've seen. In reference to the move. It's called a dummy. The turn by Doggart. Does encounter some pressure, so he'll just hold it up. Finds Bodenbacher. Doggart's going to have to recover it again. Instead, it's O'Brien to lay it back for Duff. Castellanos. Ole! Mein gosh. I mean, testament to opportunity gone by the wayside. Goalkeeper will come out for this to get it ahead of Minoff. Testament to how confident BKU are feeling in this match. Everything coming off for them. skill-wise. There you go. Case in point to take us to halftime. A 2-0 advantage for BKU, to the credit of Bruno Spampinato. And that will be the break. Pyrotechnic football on display here from the home BKU in the white kits. Dazzling here on this Saturday afternoon. Folks, that is halftime. Stick around to get a glimpse at our goal of the month candidates. Take a break when you can to head over to our Instagram at GameInFrame to place your vote as to who you think is the goal of the month for the month of April. We're going to keep it fresh. We're going to keep it rolling here on Game and Frame, your home for grassroots sports. Don't miss a second because we're going to be right back.
Rosero gets half a yard, catches it beautifully, and opens the scoring with a rip-roaring strike. It's signature Junior Rosero.
Espinoza gets around and he puts it in! And it's 3-2. Richmond regain the lead. Trouble for Real Central. Shot from distance, looking to beat the keeper. And how about that for a finish to start this game? From about 35 yards out, AC Trilogy stunned John Bowen in net. Good touch.
There's space on the left wing, carrying into the box, taking on one man, taking on a second, looking for a shot, and a beautiful goal! What a strike! East Coast are right back into this one. It's 2-1.
Neto leaves it. Oliveira, 2-1, perfectly placed. Good enough pace to beat Valencia, but also the placement as well. Just inside the far post. And Oliveira.
Willie goes long, trying to find Reynoso. Reynoso gets a touch over the keeper. Reynoso, open goal. And he finishes to make it 2-0. A beautiful touch by David Reynoso over the keeper. And he slots it home.
Mohu. Tug at the shirt. He's had a hit. What a strike! From Mohu, top left corner.
Smith lets it run. Now gonna bring it forward. Smith gets through two. Smith into the middle. He scores! Quentin Smith puts it in at the far post. And Brooklyn have doubled their lead.
Fascioli in a little more space. And he's looking for Richmond. He's played a nice ball over the top. He's gotten it under control. A little clip over the top. What a goal from the Philadelphia skipper.
Back to pitch, it goes to Moya. Looks like a cross is getting set to be put into the box by Aarons, who takes a shot instead, and he scores! Kiro Aarons makes it 3 for the Empire.
Along the left wing, one step over, two step overs, cutting it inward, playing it back to Ricardo. Vera Sanchez! Goal! Ricardo Vera Sanchez makes it 3-1.
Over the top, goalkeeper a long way off his line, LaFlash. His pass is loose, however, he's a long way off his goal. The goal is gaping and the goal is bypassed. Finally for New York International, they break free. Elation, Alex Theodorescu has opened the scoring.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together. I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spaceship shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Spell trouble for Real Central. Stuff from distance, looking to beat the keeper. And how about that for a finish to start this game?
Great feet. It's set up to Kugler on the top of the box, whose effort! An immaculate save by Nivkovic. Unbelievable reach.
Looks like a cross is getting set to be put into the box by Aarons, who takes a shot instead, and he scores!
It's good to switch of play. CPR could be in. They are! It's the equalizer!
Buchel out in front, no one around him. Into the 18, his shot is deflected away.
Pass there. Advantage called. Yusufi! That time he scores!
Was his first time?
Welcome back here on Game in Frame at the LIU Athletic Campus here in Brooklyn, New York, for the BKU 2008 national game against JA Elite. And so far it is all right for the purple and white. BKU in their white kits, now attacking from the left to the right, have a 2-0 advantage following the break. Both goals coming courtesy of Bruno Spampinato, the number 99 true striker with tremendous hold-up play and finishing ability. You'd think someone plucked him straight out of the early aughts and said, you know what to do, son. We are underway for the second half here with BKU kicking us off. Castellanos. Baudenbacher wins a throw. So we come into the second half, much the same as we ended the first half, personnel-wise, for BKU. Castellanos hasn't had too much busy work for himself. A ball over the top from Otis O'Brien. It will find Repin Menov, who now holds the ball up well. Baudenbacher weighing his options now. Doggart, who had an incredible first half. Picking up right where he left off. You'd think he had a scuba salvage license, the way he's just cleaning everything up. Ball from O'Brien for Minoff. Ball into the box. Boudenbacher will clean up. Waring with a strike that finds pay dirt. A frozen rope to the back of the net. I'm trying to find a good one-liner for that, but my word, what a finish. That was a perler. An absolute peach of a strike. Ripped right off the foot and almost busted through the back of the net. That, woo! It's been heating up here in New York City. And here in Brooklyn, it's just, the temperature just keeps on rising, courtesy of the BKU 2008 national team. Waring now catching a foul. Quickly out from Doggart. Castellanos to get this one underfoot. Gamboa Arsate having to deal with some pretty tremendous pressure. He's going to get away from it. Yes, he is. Tries to connect with Spampinato, just offline. Foul in the air there. Or foul over there. Referee blew it dead. Oh, it's to the direction of BKU, I believe. Indeed it is, so BKU will quickly shift gears here. A little bit of momentary confusion in direction there. We started driving down the wrong side of the freeway, but we are back on the off-ramp with Gamboa Arsate cutting, twisting, and turning. Waring doing much the same. Ball stays live. Doggart to go back on his salvage efforts. And O'Brien back for Duff. Here is Smith. Smith doing his best. Fred Astaire pops out for Spampinato. Wins the throw deep in JA Elite territory. O'Brien on the ball. Tries to go over the top. It's a little too direct. We've actually lost a little bit of wind here. Pardon me, folks. Castellanos. Pardon, folks, just a quick break in the commentary. Frog in the throat. Apologies about that, folks. Cat had a hold of the frog in my throat, so we are back now to the commentary. BKU still on the ball. Waring releases for Smith. Back in for Waring, who turns back this way. Tries to go over the top for Shearder. A bit of a rescue effort, but he is offside as he collected the ball. Ball played short, so JA Elite do have the ball in play. Ball calmly collected by Otis O'Brien and Duff. Doggart a quick turn over the shoulder. Just delays momentarily. Shearder, Doggart. Can't connect with Minoff. Pyrotechnic stuff here from JA Elite. Shearder with a great recovery effort though, and a foul on Otis O'Brien to give the ball right back to BKU. Ball moved across for Castellanos. Bodenbacher still comes away with the ball. Back for O'Brien. Minoff right now really playing more as a second striker along with Spampanato. Ooh. Ball a little dangerous there. Reppin Minoff, the number 22, deployed now as sort of a right winger, though he's playing more as a second striker. And it's Gabe Shearder providing a lot of the width on this near side. Not that that's any grand analysis that I'm going to break down what it all means, but just something to note as far as Minoff's positioning. And here goes Shearder on the breaking run, a line-breaking pass for the fullback. Here is Shearder taking a touch, cutting back inside, tries one off his left foot.
Good job, Gabe. Great job, Brooklyn.
And that is an excellent run and a well-weighted pass for the fullback. So here's the bit of analysis is, as Minoff pulls more inward, right, he's going to pull either the focus of the fullback or the center back. Either way, it's just going to leave a little bit of a gap, and that's where that pass is going to come in for Shearder, who's been really good on both ends of the ball so far today. He's made a lot of things happen offensively, as well as being locked down defensively. Castellanos having no choice but to hold him up. Advantage being played, but here is the option in behind, and quickly it's a goal for JA Elite. Just got past a napping BKU defense, who have undoubtedly woken up to reality that they are not out of the woods yet. If you've played this game at any level, you will have heard the old adage, 2-0 is a very scary scoreline at half. BKU would hate for that to be proven true here. Doggart, once again, a tremendous recovery. Shearder back on the offensive side of the ball, dazzles with the footwork. Bodenbacher being held up, tripped, slapped. Yeah, it's got to call a foul at some point, and has won it here. Waring holding off the challenge, and Otis O'Brien. Doggart now. Schurter. Cutting away, twisting, finding space. Oh, beautiful. Baudenbacher releases for Minoff. Schurter now. Is there an option in the box? Schurter's going to have to dazzle once again. Minoff. Good connection there. At the back stick was Smith, who just started the engine a second too late. Liquid football once again on display from BKU. Testing over the top, and Otis O'Brien will equalize that. Headed right into the chest of Waring, and that's enough to recover the ball. Castellanos. O'Brien. Minoff comes a little wider. Schurter, though, still holds the line. It's the number 6 right here, moving towards the edge of your screen. Ball right through the center of Baudenbacher and Doggart. Schurter tries the recovery, tries to recover and turn at the same time. Aiden Duff down ahead of the on-rushing striker, who has the solo assist. Waring. That number 30 is quick. Smith cutting inward. Waring, oh, it stings the gloves, parried downward, Minoff, and another great save. Almost to the disbelief of Repin Minoff. JA Elite have the ball and can advance up the field now. Baudenbacher. No one communicating there. And this ball for the goalkeeper, though, Spampanato giving some good chase. Flashes the goalkeeper a thumbs up. Good motion. Offside. That attack comes to a conclusion. Nemitov will make his way onto the field, likely during the next dead ball. Baudenbacher. Schurter starts the far-sided run. Look, there's the gap once again for Schurter, the de facto width provider. Ball into the box is low. Spampanato took a swing at it. Minoff, as the defender was jumping, caught just a little bit of pressure. And that was enough to blow the play dead. We will see the substitution to bring Fazi Nemitov back onto the field for Paxton Baudenbacher. And that will restart proceedings. Pocket of space and a good turn. Orson Doggart did seem to catch a hand on the ball. Nothing conclusive enough for the referee to blow play dead. What an incredible recovery of the football by Pax Gamboa Arsate. That was tenacity on display, folks. Castellanos nods it, clear of the danger area. That's a hand that you can't really ignore. Clipped over. O'Brien. A little bit of a miscommunication, but only for a second, as Doggart cleans up. Quickly, Spampanato holding off the challenge well, but he's held up by the arm. And just like that, with 3, 4, 5, like 6 players behind the ball for BKU. It's more like 7. They've won a free kick. And this will give them a chance to get more people forward. It's clipped over the top. Cleared away. One out of the air by O'Brien. Doggart just recovering. Ooh, that's tricky. That was clever by Doggart. His recovery ability, I mean, it's akin to like a St. Bernard rescuing avalanche victims. Shearder, bit of magic there. Won't get the foul, not that close to the goal. Oh, I don't know about that. That one, it did look like either the ball hadn't gone out or that the goal kick had been technically played. And BKU went for the press. JA Elite put a hand on the ball and said, oh, we haven't taken the goal kick yet. Both teams, both sets of players could have very well been in the right as Castellanos very conclusively clears the ball away. Waring tries to flick it over the top. Smith with a recovery. Smith brought to ground. Smith winning a foul. Quickly taken with just a bit too much heat on it. Just needed to float it a little more over that top line to give Spampanato a play on that. So far this half being won on the scoreboard by JA Elite. No, just kidding, I'm forgetting a goal. Woohoo! Oh, that's clever. Another attack here from JA Elite, and once again neutralized by the defense of BKU. This time it's Gabe Shearder. Nemitov winning the ball and laying it back for Duff to play a ball dime perfect to the left foot of Spampanato. Just let it skate off at the last second. And here goes Smith on the takeaway. Quentin Smith at pace. Spampanato now to his left. Releases for the striker. Now does he go himself? He cuts it back, and it's just an outstretched foot. And saving the corner throw in. Nope. It did trickle out over the end line. Corner here for BKU. Distribution, that is hanging something fierce. Waring trying the absolute spectacular out of the air. Nemitov lets him go, doesn't want to commit the foul, though there's some room to run for JA Elite. Green grass, but a great challenge from Waring. Stares down his prey too. Corner now for JA Elite. Complete swing of the tide. Swing of the tide, does that track? I feel like I got two things mixed up there. A twist of the tables? How many idioms can I pack into one? Corner delivery is high and hanging, did go out of bounds on its way towards the box. So comes to nothing more than a goal kick. Ball once again delivered for Spampanato. who's being shielded back, drags the defender to ground, and the referee is going to wave that right on. Good for Spampanato, you know? If he's gonna get that grace, might as well take it. Here is JA Elite. Great challenge there from Shearder to stand his ground. Minoff off the back of a JA Elite midfielder and right to the feet of Doggart. Waring combining with the speed of Quinton Smith. Waring now picks out the turn. Repin Minoff awaits the run of Shearder, tries one himself, tees it off the left foot, high of the mark. Ruszewski makes his return. Doggart will go to the bench. No, just to talk to Coach Kempe and get a quick word of advice. More Fall now in as the far-sided fullback for BKU. His first involvement in the match. Ruszewski teases the press, invites the long ball. And that's enough to get the ball to Spampanato. Nemitov pressured in the back. Twists, cuts away from the number 10, who left a foot in a dangerous area. Nemitov took all of it. So it will be Nemitov and Waring, the pair of center mids ahead of Orson Doggart. The 8, if you want to call it as such. Coming into the board meeting, reviewing the minutes. Fozzie moves to strike Waring from the option. Nemitov plays the ball right into the wall. And once again, the number 20 gets the best of Nemitov. Good challenge from O'Brien. All ball, that challenge. Shearder plays one. Spampanato for his hat trick. Oh, just overcooked it. Had it, didn't. And that was all she wrote for that attack. The ball from Shearder, a little lucky on its way in. The pick out was beautiful though. Ball over the top, more Fall, nods it back for O'Brien, plays back for Duff. A full reset and a ball over the top. Spampanato in an offside position, can't give chase on this one. Handled by the goalkeeper. Laid into the middle. So now, Ruszewski back into the match. What does this do for Shearder's positioning? As Ruszewski is much more like to hold this width, look at him go. But that ball is instead going to go over the top for Spampanato, who may just be able to make a play on this if he has the legs, not quite. Maybe another meter on that end line was the difference. O'Brien with time to pick that one out of the air, instead nods it right into the feet of the JA Elite attack, and that's a foul on Castellanos. No malice intended. Quickly out to the far side. Against more Fall, but Castellanos is there. Smith now. Spampanato was holding right on the halfway line, kept himself onside. Spampanato clips one over the top for Quinton Smith, who turns his back towards the defender. Can he keep the ball? No, it's a clean challenge from the center back. Good Good connection down that far side, but a little too much on it. That seemed like a potentially a foul throw. Who knows if those even get called these days at this level. Ball all the way back to the JA Elite goalkeeper. Ruszewski even with him step for step. Can he avoid conceding the foul? Can't. The pressure was good though. Oh, great recovery by once again Death Taxes and Orson Doggart winning the ball. Do want to remind you, of course, you saw them at halftime, but it is that time where Goal of the Month is up for votes. So head over to our Instagram if you need another peek at the candidates this month. But yeah, head over to our Instagram. The post is there. It's a slideshow, or at least should be. You can look at them again and vote for who you think should be Goal of the Month. That competition should be closing just tomorrow. So get your votes in while you can. Also tomorrow on Game and Frame, we've got one of the most highly anticipated matches of this spring portion of the season in the Cosmopolitan Soccer League First Division. It's Polonia and New York International FC, a match that is almost sure to, you know what, I don't even want to jinx it. It could decide the title this year. Polonia and NY International FC have been duking it out at the top all season. This is the match where it's all going to count. Also tomorrow, American SC New York take on Osners. That's in the NPSL. Richmond, who have been red hot and firing as of late, take on the Pan-Cyprian Freedoms at 8 p.m. Tonight at 8 p.m. is the East Coast FC versus New York Empire FC in the UPSL. All of this and more on Game in Frame. While you're over at our Instagram, checking out the Goal of the Month candidates as Bruno Spampanato tries to hold up the ball. A really delicate turn there to get away from the pressure. While you're over at our Instagram, take a peek. We have all of our weekly programming posted every week for you guys, so you can take a look at what's to come each weekend here on Game and Frame, your home for grassroots sports. All right, let's calm things down, says the referee. We're going to go again to try and restart play. I think that's another foul throw technically because he spiked it into the ground. Here's Shearder. Yeah, see, now he's able to cut more inside and play Ruszewski on the outside, or he can just strike one himself. Stung the goalkeeper's gloves. O'Brien for Nematov laid off excellently. Doggart, Ruszewski. Ruszewski turns the corner, plays one in. Spampanato! Oh, what a save! He'll get another shot at it this time. Second take, no mistake. Piece of cake. Hat trick. Oof. Couldn't make that one work if I tried. Either way, 3 on the evening for Bruno Spampanato to cap off an impressive display from the striker. And BKU firing on all cylinders, momentum swinging their way. Much needed as they go into the final 2 games of the season in the coming weeks against Long Island Soccer Club and then Stony Brook's white squad. And they are going to need all the momentum they can gather. What a tackle from Morfall. Title still well up for grabs here in the U.S. Youth Soccer National League North Atlantic Division. Did that sneak its way around? No, it did not. Hayden Duff had all bases covered. And it is a goal kick for BKU. Castellanos, fall. Oh, stringing together passes like beads on a friendship bracelet are BKU. Shearder, Ruszewski now taking the interior half space. Possession coming to a close. Fall with another great interception, and Doggart recovers. Well, now BKU just starting to little dog and pony show with some of these passes. Dagan Waring tries to slip Nematov through. Maybe had Quentin Smith on the other side. Is there anything that Orson Doggart couldn't go and get? Diagonal ball for Quentin Smith, just too far ahead of the run. Quentin Smith ahead of that clearance. Throw in for JA Elite. They'll go over the head of Nematov. Breaking away is the center midfielder for JA Elite. Ball intended for the striker. Will fall all the way to Duff. Waited well for Ruszewski. Goalkeeper has to come out and does so really well. Nematov, though, acrobatic to win possession back. Shearder. Spampanato making a delayed run. Maybe just too delayed. That diagonal ball from Shearder has been on. Just needs a well-timed run to get on the end of it. How do you pick a man of the match? I mean, Spampanato, his contributions obviously have been nothing short of spectacular. Doggart has been tremendous. Shearder has been everywhere. Castellanos has kept just about everything at. Great defending from Fall. Waring will lose the ball when pigs fly. It's just such a complete performance, top to bottom. One mistake, just falling asleep at the wheel. Ball from Spampanato, intended for Nematov. Line breaking pass, but it's played right back. Shearder, does he test the diagonal one again? No, he tests it himself. Says, all right, if you guys aren't going to get on the end of my crosses, I'll just take one myself. Jacob Suniga will re-enter the match for the first time since the first half, And that will more than likely bring Gabe Shearer's tremendous 90 minutes to a close. Castellanos lifts this one. Did we get that? For reference, just so you know, the first one to go and get the ball, not to bring it back, but to go and get the ball, he like jumped all the way that his foot was like right on top of this this blue padding on top of the gate. I mean, has no bearing on the game, of course, but like just crazy display of athleticism after 83 odd minutes of play. Reshevsky launches that one. Castellanos nods that one back to Doggart. Cuts away, and Suniga. Nimitov. Doggart. Castellanos brings that one out of the air. Smith. Spampinato. It's a little outside of his range. Smith picks it back up with the help of more fall. Smith now. Spampinato busying himself with the defender. And now releases Smith. Played off of Smith, though. He tried to jump himself clear. Quinn Smith was getting some tremendous air on those jumps, but more impressive air is the air case, brought to you by our sponsor. How's that for an ad read? Salt Athletic, who have designed the most advanced and freshest cleat bag on the market. It is called, guess what? The Air Case, and it uses antimicrobial technology to block smells and odors and make for serene homes and car rides. A special offer to the Game in Frame community is a 10%. Oh, wow! Shows me up for trying to do an ad read in the middle of a game. Special offer for the Game in Frame family is 10% off on all orders of the Air Case. Thank you to Salt Athletic for your sponsorship of the broadcast. Keep it fresh. Waring. Holding up well, turning, twisting, turning back. Smith. Throw in for BKU. The final 10 or so minutes of the match. Just feeling that BKU have done the necessary damage. Doggart. Thrown in from J.A. Elite, tries to knot it on just behind the intended. Some more fall will take over for a throw. Castellanos lifts it high. Woo, miscommunication there. That could have been... Don't worry about it. Suniga. Doggart. Cuts back. Smith, hands to the sky, wants it, will receive it. What can he do? Gets around one, finds Spampinato, combines well. Quentin Smith! Right into the basket of the goalkeeper. This one high into the afternoon air. Otis O'Brien gets on it. Nimitov nods it on. Passive shouts for a handball. Suniga inbounds for Waring, who lets that one slip past him. Whew. I don't know how he got that, but you know, that's Dagan Warren for you, folks. Pressure from Spampinato, keepers away. Pressure now from Smith. Gets to him. Doggart sizes up his opportunity. Finally, he stopped. Waring. Tries to find more fall. O'Brien for Duff. Castellanos. Everyone just a little sluggish by this point to make that check-in all the way. Doggart does now. Aiden Duff, though, is happy to just hang on to this ball, keep it spinning at his own feet. Suniga making a break down this near side. He'll receive it. Ruszewski tries the diagonal run cornerwards. Suniga hangs on to it. It's going to fall for Spampinato. On his left, Spampinato! Tries to go near post. Like there were a few extra touches on that goal kick. Oh, is it going to fall? No.
Let's go, Brooklyn!
Into the goalkeeper's hands. Forward distribution. Suniga just keeping his head on a lazy Susan there to keep checking over his shoulder for the pressure. A little too much on that throw for Doggart, though. Doggart has come up with a little bit of hitch in his giddy up. He did take a passive glance to the bench. Maybe trying to signal to Kempe. Right into the basket of Aiden Duff, who's been equal to everything. And that will do it. 4-1, your final. A convincing display from your home BKU. Firework, pyrotechnic football on display. And a hat trick from Bruno Spampinato is your main course. Folks, that will do it for the game stream. We're going to come back momentarily for an interview with some of the members of the Victoria's BKU 2008 national squad. So stick around for that. We're going to be right back here on Game and Frame.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's the good bit of footwear there by Spalding. It's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Just spelled trouble for Real Central. Stuff from distance, looking to beat the keeper. And how about that for a finish to start this game?
Great feet. It's set up to Kugler on the top of the box, whose effort! An immaculate save by Nivkovic. Unbelievable reach.
Looks like a cross is getting set to be put into the box by Aarons, who takes a shot instead, and he scores!
That was a good switch of play. CPR could be in. They are! It's the equalizer!
Buchel out in front, no one around him. Into the 18, his shot is deflected away.
Pass there. Advantage called. Yusufi, that time he scores!
Ba, for his first time with a sighted goal, gets past two, takes a shot, and Nish does so well to meet the shot, tipping the ball over the bar.
Here is the set piece, however, by Jordan Trott. Wicked. And it's in! Alex Theodorescu.
Blocks that cross from Puig. Sharifi now fires! Another save by Kazun!
The ball is back into play. Beautiful work, Winder, with the nutmeg.
Mateo. Mark. Mateo. Still Mateo. Oh, wonderful finish!
This kick. Into the box! Oh, what a save!
Goalkeeper a long way off his line, Laflash. His pass is loose, however, he's a long way off his goal. The goal is gaping and the goal is bypassed.
Botti. There's a shot and Kazun beats it away again.
Is Gomez. Over to Charles. Back to Charles. Charles one-on-one with the keeper. Takes on Cisse. Now to find the finish is always needed. And he finds him back to the net.
And it'll be Naeem who takes a shot, pushed aside.
Here's Yingling. Yingling. Yingling shot and it's in! Tucks it right inside the post!
Gets half a yard, cash it beautifully, and opens the scoring with a rip-roaring strike. It's signature Junior Rosero.
Espinoza. Espinoza gets around and he puts it in! And it's 3-2. Richmond regain the lead.
Trouble for Real Central. Shot from distance, looking to beat the keeper. And how about that for a finish to start this game? From about 35 yards out, AC Trilogy stunned John Bowen in net.
Good touch. There's space on the left wing, carrying into the box, taking on one man, taking on a second, looking for a shot, and a beautiful goal! What a strike! East Coast are right back into this one. It's 2-1.
Neto leaves it. Oliveira, 2-1, perfectly placed. Good enough pace to beat Valencia, but also the placement as well. Just inside the far post. And Oliveira.
Willie goes long, trying to find Reynoso. Reynoso gets a touch over the keeper. Reynoso, open goal. And he finishes to make it 2-0. A beautiful touch by David Reynoso.
Welcome back here on Game and Frame. We are wrapping things up here with the victorious BKU 2008 national squad. Boys, first of all, congratulations. First question is going to go to you, Hat-Trick Hero. How are you feeling right now after such an impressive display?
I mean, I think our team played really well today. Obviously, I could have gotten the goals without my teammates playing me the great balls. 2 of them right here. I I mean, I feel like I could have scored more myself, and as a team, we could have played better. But overall, the team had a great performance, I think.
I'm going to lob you one now. What allowed you guys to, or what do you think allowed you guys to control the game in such a really dominant fashion?
We moved the ball fast.
Yeah. Great answer. Last question. It looked like you were kind of in a new position from at least how I've seen. You were kind of lying a bit deeper, more as like a 6. How's that feeling for you, kind of in a new role?
Yeah, Kempe really likes me at the 6, and I enjoy like helping to control the game. I know I need to work on playing simpler. It's a different role, but yeah, I think it's helping the team. That's what really matters.
Great answer. All right, boys. Hey, thank you so much. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate the hard work from you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Best of luck on the rest of your season. Lucas has been behind the camera. I am Diego Mijan here in front. It has been an honor to commentate for you guys here at LIU. We've got so much more coming up on Game and Frame. Do not forget to tune in. Tomorrow is going to be an absolute barn burner of grassroots football here in the New York scene. So make sure to tune in here on Game and Frame, your home for grassroots sports. It's been an honor, and we'll see you next time.